Hello, how you doing? It's been quite a while since I've said anything on this channel, so I finally thought I'd go ahead and do a video. Lots to update you on, and I don't think I have a lot of time. I don't want to take too much time to tell you what's been going on, but actually, I never did this in Barcelona. Está bien? I've never done this in Barcelona, which is walk around my city in the morning and do a video. And the reason why is because it was too crowded, too crazy, and yeah, just didn't like walking around. People would probably look at you like you're crazy with a camera. But I know you're supposed to get over that when you YouTube. But anyway, let's see. We have moved to Alicante, and we've been here for over 2 months now, maybe two. Let's see, April 1st, April Fool's Day. We took a long drive from Barcelona down to Alicante, and since then, we were able to secure a nice apartment in a small little town called El Campello, which has a cute little beach, which I'm going to be going to soon. I just left my apartment, and it's only like a 10-minute walk from the apartment to the beach, which is perfect. What else can I tell you? Oh, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm doing two things at the same time. Walking and talking, or walking and talking, or caminando y hablando. And but we have a new member of the family. This is Olive. Olive. Oh, she's so dangerous. No, she's not. She is what they call here a potentially dangerous breed, and because of that, she's required to have the muzzle on all the time outside, or when she's interacting with any people. She also has to have a lot of liability insurance. We had to go get a psychometric test, I guess they call it, or basically be evaluated by some doctors who wanted us to understand the responsibilities and possible dangers of having such a dangerous animal. What else did we have to do? Oh, you need to get a certificate of good health by the veterinarian, and I'm sure a couple other things. My wife did all of the paperwork and everything for us, so I really didn't have to do much other than go and answer some questions at the doctor's office and file it online. Oh, the police came too to what was it? They came to our apartment. They wanted to make sure that we had a sign on the door notifying people that we had a dangerous dog, or potentially dangerous dog, and that, let's see, if visitors came, we would have the ability to put her away in a safe area so she wouldn't maul anybody accidentally. But we found actually that the Chihuahuas are probably the most dangerous dogs here. They bark at her and try to attack her all the time. And so it goes from the smallest dogs to the biggest dogs, which are usually the aggressive ones. But unfortunately, you know, the Chihuahua bite doesn't hurt so much. And if she does decide to defend herself, she would probably be taken away from us. I don't know what they would do. So we have the muzzle on all the time. The fine is like 1,600 euros to start too, if she's caught. Although it's weird because we see a lot of locals walking around, and they have similar breeds, like, you know, German Shepherd, I think, is one of them, Rottweiler, Husky, and none of these have muzzles on them. So I don't know how everybody else gets away with it. So here we are at the beach. Let me help. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, come here. So Olive's not allowed on the beach, but this is one of the local beaches. There's a couple of them, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit hazy again today. It's a little bit before 8 a.m. and as you can hear, I think, or maybe you saw, they are still cleaning up from last night. It's nice. They come out every morning to clean the street, gather the trash when from the people that were on the beach. It's nice and calm today. If we were doing the sup, it would be a perfect day. Okay, so what else can I tell you? Still working remote. Hey, nope. Same company, and yeah, we like it here. So before coming and deciding on Alicante, we went to Malaga, which is a few hours south of here, and we found that that whole area, they call it the Costa del Sol, or the coast of the sun, sunny coast, however you want to translate it. That it's really not a walkable area. So there's a bunch of coves, what they call cala, like Cala Honda. We went to Mijas. We went to Estepona. You'll see all of these cities or towns online if you're researching Spain or southern Spain. And a lot of people say they're great, but we didn't find them to be great because you need a car. Unless you can afford a house or apartment right on the beach, where there's also a grocery store within walking distance. It's not a walkable place. A lot of the homes, because we viewed a couple single families and a couple of apartments, or I guess if you're viewing from the U.S., you would call them kind of like big condo buildings or townhomes, and they were high up in the hills of this area, and there were no sidewalks. So if you're thinking of moving down here or over here, and you imagine that walking would be part of your daily routine or health, but at the same time, maybe you're planning for a time when you won't have a car, or maybe possibly if you can envision a time where you shouldn't be driving, then maybe that's not the best place. I see a lot of people talking about retirement in the Malaga area, and while it is beautiful, it's really, based on our assessment, not the best place. If you are rich, yes. If you're not rich, I wouldn't even bother considering it. There you go. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. This is a Weimaraner that I've seen attacking people, and he no muzzle. So anyway, So unless you're rich, don't go to Malaga. It would be a waste of your time. Valencia, which is an hour north of us, is a good place to go if you want city life, like big city life. Has a beautiful green city park, which I think is several kilometers. And but I wanted to tell you more about this area. So we have a tram that allows us to go into the downtown center area of Alicante, and it takes about, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes. It's air conditioned, it's nice. If you want a large choice of restaurants, you could do that. But we've got all kinds of choice here. This is what I call the strip. It has a couple different options. Some are good, most aren't. So anything that looks like a tourist place is gonna be pretty crappy. So it takes a little while to find good places to eat, but we have found a few. And let's go over here, Hala. And yeah, they're nice. You can come here at night or in the evening when the sun's setting, sit down, have a dinner. You won't see a sunset because the sun sets on the other side behind the hills and mountains. But yeah, lots to do. And I don't have this scripted, obviously. I just wanted to give you an update. So, and also show you the town. We really like it, as I said. Oh, okay. Another thing about this area. We have looked at, so, you know, if you want, here, let's stop for a second. This is like the typical beachfront living. These are older buildings. They have newer ones. But, you know, the top floor would be considered what they call the penthouse, or what else do they call them? Aticos, like attic, atico. And you can see others in the, further up the hill area here. These are what you typically are going to see. There are no single-family homes along the beachfront, unless if there are. They're going to be, you know, at least 1.5 million probably. And, you know, you really won't have a yard or anything. So from El Campello, we went to 2 other towns called Muchamiel and Buso. And these are about a 10 to 15 minute drive away from us. And there they do have single family homes, but they feel out of the way a little bit because you do need the car. And also there's very limited services. So say you want to go grocery shopping, you have to get in the car and drive 10 minutes, which for people in the US, I know that's like, oh, that's no big deal. But once you get used to being able to walk to your supermarket and really any place that you really need a necessity, to have to get in a car and drive for anything, meaning, you know, that's the only way that you can get a store or, you know, whatever. It really sucks. So that's a downside for me. But you can then afford a single family home with a garden. A lot of them have pools. So we have a rental. It's what they call a long-term rental, which once you sign a long-term rental, you have the legal right to stay there for up to 5 years before you have to sign it again. And then the landlord has, at that point, I think, an opportunity to relist it, maybe at a different price. I'm not sure how that works, but it's all regulated, so you can't relist it above the standard market rates for the area. So they can't gouge. They could only increase up to, you know, what the going rate is. And I think if you stay, there might be a provision to limit how much they could increase your rent versus renting to somebody new. But they still have to give you like first refusal. So that is one of many reasons why people say don't buy a home or a property as an investment in Spain. Oh my. Oh my God, it's that same dog. It's that same Weimaraner. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you know, buy if you're gonna stay for yourself, but buying as an investment is not a good idea because I mean, I'm sure people make money, but I don't think it's as easy in the US. Oh yeah, also when you buy, there's all kinds of taxes involved, like you pay sales tax, and then when you sell, you also pay capital gains tax. So if you buy a big home, let's say you spend 400,000 or something, 4 or 5, and then you sell it a year later because you decided, oh my God, I can't stay. Well, you could potentially be negative 100,000 in the hole because of how you pay the property taxes as soon as you move in, and then your other fees for selling the home. So you really got to be sure that you are going to stay, that the culture is a fit. There's plenty of videos on this when you search on YouTube if you're interested, but it's something that I thought I should mention, because if you don't do your homework and you just think, oh, this is great, you move here, you're 3 months into it, and you're in that honeymoon phase, and then you jump into a home, you could wind up hating it a whole lot, for, I don't know, many reasons, I suppose, but why we like it here, let's think about that. So in Barcelona, we felt that the people weren't very friendly to foreigners. Doesn't matter what kind of foreigner you are. Many of them will give you like a grumpy face look when they see you on the street, and they can tell that you're not a local because you're not wearing pants when it's hot out like they do, or when it's the end of September and it's still 80 degrees out, you haven't started wearing your jacket because it's almost fall. So there's many ways that they could tell if you're not from there. For instance, most of the older men do not shave their head bald, so they'll just do the comb over, instead of fixing. See, that's what I told you. So yeah, a lot of guys will have that old 1970s hairstyle and the comb over, and so for guys like me that shave it, that makes you stand out right away. So your clothing, and then obviously if they hear you speaking English, that's it. Boom. If you don't speak Catalan and you speak only Spanish with them, some of them can get kind of like, I guess, disgusted with you. But for us, Catalan itself wasn't something that we wanted to learn, because there's only about 8 million people in the whole world that speak it. And that includes Valenciano. So here we live in Alicante. It's part of the Valencian community. And they also have a dialect of Catalan. And so including everybody that speaks some close dialect, there's only 8 million people. But there's something like a couple 100 million, or maybe even more, that actually just speak Spanish. So when you're learning a new language, or if you're not bilingual and you only speak one language, in Europe, usually, if you're not an English native speaker, you learn English in school. I think it's by choice, obviously. You can choose whatever you want. But after that, they often learned a third language. So that could be Spanish for them. But in the US, a lot of people will like, oh, I want to study German, or I want to study French. But I always looked at it more as a utility. What if I'm going to spend a lot of my time, what am I going to get the biggest bang for my effort? And I thought Spanish would be good. And I studied it in high school so long ago, and then again in college, or what they call university here. So I can now get by speaking my little bit of Spanish that I know, but to spend time for a language where it would be useless if I go to Madrid was not something that made any sense to me or my wife, because, why learn a language where it's like a secret handshake? Now, I know a lot of people will say, oh, it's the culture, there's a lot of history behind it, and that's great. But when somebody forces a language on you like that, to me, and a lot of other people, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't click. Yeah. So that was something that we found we really didn't like from Barcelona, was the locals. And you've probably seen some of it directed toward tourists, but it's not just tourists, it's actually foreigners. So what I would say is, if you're familiar with the American MAGA culture, the Catalans are the Spanish equivalent. Now, they won't even say that they're Spanish, because it is, to them, considered a completely different country. Back in 2017, they tried to secede from Spain. 2017, they tried to secede from Spain. And the people who got elected actually had to flee the country because Madrid said, heck no. And they sent the federal police to arrest them for secession. So they fled to Brussels and other areas in Europe, and have been living in exile. But anyway, all that said, here we are, Alicante. People are nice. There are some that will speak Valenciano, but as soon as they realize that you don't, they don't push it. They just switch to English if they know it, or they'll switch to Spanish, which is great, and they are friendly. So, hola. So what you'll notice is that people are very friendly in shops, along the street. Not so much, because hey, we almost had a potato chip incident. On the streets, people don't usually greet you. They don't usually smile at you right away, because in Spain, the culture is like, if I don't know you, I have no reason to smile at you, because I'm really not happy to see you. And that's actually something in Russia too that I just learned. But so they think it's odd that Americans smile and seem very happy to see people that they don't even know. Like, oh, hi, how are you? Yeah, they say that that's fake. But what they don't understand, I suppose, is that, we do it because we do want to be friendly, open, welcoming. And so it's just something you have to get used to, is that until you start seeing the same people over and over on your walk, then they'll start to say hello. I'm not saying everyone doesn't. Some people do. But, it's like, I don't know you. I don't know who you are. And here, there's a lot of tourists. You just saw the beach at 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and there is hardly anybody out. But if I take this camera out later on today, which I may or may not, it's going to be really hot to me. It's very humid now, and it's going to be about, 89 degrees today. But so we find people are very friendly. Oh, the other thing, again, not scripted, is that in Barcelona, it's a very big city. It's the second densest city per square meter or kilometer, however you want to look at it, in Europe. Second only to Paris, which came in at number 1. So, it's definitely not Tokyo, but when you're walking down the sidewalk, there are so many people, especially during the high season. It's true that Barcelona has lots of tourism. Even where we lived, which was not in a tourist area, you'll see tourists getting Airbnbs into areas and communities that had been traditionally local neighborhoods. And these local neighborhoods had traditionally been, priced less than, the very center in, like near Sagrada Familia, in Eixample. Those were like the hotbeds of places where people used to want to stay. But because you can jump on the metro and 10 or 15 minutes later be in those neighborhoods, the Airbnb people, or I should say landlords, decided to jack up their prices as well. So it's a very expensive place to live relative to the salaries that you'll earn, and even to visit. So I understand why in Barcelona they're a little bit angry with the foreigners for driving up these prices, but actually they should be angry at their governments, because the government's the one that let it happen. They don't enforce rental laws like they should, meaning short-term rentals. So there's so many illegal rentals in Barcelona that shouldn't be. So whatever numbers you hear about, 1 in 4 flats is a Airbnb or a short-term, it's probably worse. So yeah, we just discovered that we weren't city people, because I grew up in Staten Island, New York, and I used to go into Manhattan, but I can tell you this, that was it last year? Yeah, I think last year. Yeah, I went to New York City last year for a family event in Long Island, and I walked through the city. I had a couple things to take care of there, and it was quiet compared to Barcelona, even on a Thursday. So, I remember New York City being very busy, but it wasn't busy. So I don't know what happened with that. Maybe it's my perspective after living in Barcelona for 2.5 years, 3 years, but I think there's just less people in Manhattan now. And so that's, I guess, tells you a little bit about like going from what a lot of people think of when you say, oh, I grew up right next to New York City. And they're like, oh, well, then you're a city person. No, you're not. You're not, because you have to really feel crowded on the buses, in the metro, where people are bumping into you while you're, standing without a seat, trying to get from A to B. Then you really know how busy city life really feels. I think another reason that I wanted to share this video was just to get something out there. I haven't done one in a long time. Not that I'm feeling extra creative this morning, but I just thought, what the heck, it's really easy. I wanted to also show you my little town, so you get some view. I'm going to stop for a second here and show you. There's actually a lot of construction. So that's a new apartment building there. I don't think they're actually apartments, but meaning you could buy them, right? So almost all of these buildings that you see are for purchase units. So I think of them kind of like condos, because they do have a community association. They have rules on renting, and there's a lot of stuff going up. And that's the Sunday market, where you can buy fresh fruits and vegetables, and it's kind of like a flea market, but with 50% food items. And then we have another one on Wednesdays, which is all fruit for the most part. So every Wednesday and Sunday you can go and buy fresh fruit from the region. So it's really nice to have access to something that was picked when it's ripe, instead of a week and a half before it was ripe to get shipped to your supermarket. This is not my daily morning routine. I wake up early now, and I take Olive for her walk, and she's still looking for cats. Well, that was weird. She's still looking for cats. We haven't seen any this morning, because cats are the only thing that she wants to bite and kill. Oh, and we did find out also that she has killed a chicken, And that's why, one of the reasons why they put her up for adoption and got rid of her. But who can blame a dog for wanting a chicken? So yeah, I go for our morning walk, and then on the weekdays, I usually log in at about 8 a.m. And start work. And with the summer heat being what it is, I don't usually leave the house until later in the evening. And one thing you probably don't know is that Spain is on German time. So I think in Munich and Berlin it's the same time. I don't know if all of Germany is on the same time zone or not, but this is because of World War II, because Franco was buddies with Hitler. Actually, at one point during the Spanish Civil War, when Madrid was fighting against Catalonia, and I think it was during the World War II, he asked Hitler to help him bomb Catalonia. I suppose, luckily for them, he was too busy bombing everyone else. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy history around that. Come on, come on. So yes, my point is, because we're on German time, instead of, like, if you look at the map, you'll see like London is pretty much directly north from where I live in Alicante. We should be on Madrid time, or London time, which is 1 hour behind us. That means that when we wake up in the morning, it is darker than than it would be if we were on the time zone that we should be in. But it also means that the sun sets much later in the evening. So I think right now the sun's setting around 9:30 at night. And I mean, it's not ideal for me. I've had to change my sleep cycles and such. But this is a problem in the summertime also because of the heat. Because, like, if you want to go out and get a little bite to eat and sit outside, you've got, I see, I'm already sweating. Hopefully you don't see too much of it in the video. But yeah, I'm already sweating, and it's 8 o'clock. So at 9, it's hotter than it is right now. 9 p.m. is hotter than it is at 8 a.m. because the streets haven't heated up. So long story, that's why Spaniards stay out late at night. That's my theory. The heat, and because there's more daylight at night. So they get used to that different rhythm. And I guess that's it. It was quite a rambling video, but hopefully I gave you a good overview and it wasn't too boring. And I hope to make another one being a little bit more creative and showing you things of interest, but I had to do my job and take her out for her morning walk because it's too hot in the afternoon to walk her. And she needs some exercise because that's what dogs need. They say at least an hour walk a day. And yeah, so she can't wait until 10 o'clock at night. So hopefully I'll see you soon, or you'll see me soon. And have fun. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free. I doubt anybody's gonna reach the end of this video, but if you're hearing me still, please feel free to put comments or questions and I'll answer them. I only have like 20 subscribers, so it won't be an effort for me. And like I said, hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.